You know, like no one ever did before. And I heard you moved on. Yeah, I heard you moved on. 'Cause I'm sleepless about you. Sleepless about you. Oh, oh, oh. About you. It kills my heart to see your eyes are no longer on me. It's critical of me. You stop messing with me. It kills my heart to know you don't think this love could grow. 'Cause anywhere you go, you know I would follow. 'Cause I'm sleepless about you. Sleepless about you. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, oh. Sleepless about you. It kills my heart to see kills my heart to see it rising no longer on me. It's critical to me. You stop messing with me. It kills my heart to know you don't think this love could grow. 'Cause anywhere you go, you know I would follow. 'Cause I'm sleepless about you. Sleepless about you. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, oh. Sleepless about you.
Je m'appelle Mathias. Vous nous appelez Guy.
Chaque équipe dispose de 20 minutes afin de présenter son coach. J'ai affiché un carton pour les 10, les 5, les 2 dernières minutes et les 30 dernières secondes de la présentation. Lors des 10 dernières secondes du discours, j'indiquerai à l'aide de mes 2 mains le nombre de secondes restantes. Si vous n'avez pas terminé votre présentation après 20 minutes, elle sera arrêtée afin de passer à la période des questions. Une période des questions d'une durée maximale de 5 minutes est allouée au jury à la fin de la présentation. Veuillez noter que vous ne pouvez en aucun temps dévoiler le nom ou la provenance de votre université. Je laisse maintenant les juges se nommer pour les ensuite débuter votre présentation.
Bon matin, Charles Scofield, vice-président des ventes et de la restauration chez Sexpert.
Bonjour, Richard Hébert, directeur des opérations pour Saint-Hubert.
Bonjour, Louise Salvaire, directrice des finances pour Saint-Hubert.
Bonjour, Guy Maltais, professeur en gestion des opérations.
I remember last summer when I was vacationing, I got to meet so many new people, new experiences. However, one of the problems that I encountered was that there was something that was missing. There was a place that was missing. I needed a place that I can call home for a temporary moment. Ladies and gentlemen, my team of experienced consultants. I got Stephanie on the left, I got Gregory right next to me, and I'm Matthias Monticello. We're here to solve that issue. More importantly, we're here to solve that issue at the same time Saint-Hubert will be able to make an incredible margins off this great endeavor. More precisely, we're here to tell you how, by expanding into New Brunswick and the Ottawa region, you'll be able to increase your sales by 5.25%. Now, before we get into that, we have to take a step back and realize, well, who is Saint Cyr? What do you do and what do you do best? Now, first of all, you're an established local brand. You are that place that we can call home. There's an experience for everybody, okay? You can have a family that's going to your restaurant, and you can have someone that's going to watch the game. Next, you have there might be someone that's hungry and decides to order Saint Cyr. Why? Because they know that Saint Cyr has an extremely good product, extremely good service, very fast, and, well, they know what they're getting into every time that they order the product. It's the same delicious meal wherever and whenever you go. What's more, it's community-oriented. Saint Cyr is all over the place. You're going into more sustainable products right now. We see you all over the place regarding different events. We see you really care about your community. What I'm trying to say here is that this time-tested formula must be replicated when expanding into new markets. Now, getting from point A to point B, your supply chain, it's extremely intricate because obviously you have different products. You have frozen products, you have dry products, you have fresh products. So definitely this demands significant, intricate logistics. Now, there are 7 million Quebecers in the province. There are 2 distribution centers to fuel this demand, the 116 restaurants across the province. Now, it's really important to have a system that will be able to be replicated in these new endeavors into New Brunswick and Ottawa. And what we've come to notice is that also we have Eastern Quebec that is being fueled by these 2 distribution centers that are in Montreal. Now the problem with that is that these long distance maybe they could be compensated by using another distribution center someplace else that's closer by. Now we have to evaluate the size of our distribution centers based on the market demographics, the ones that we are trying to get into. Next, we have to find out where. Where exactly? Are we going for big cities or are we looking for small cities? Well, the thing with big cities is that it is very metropolitan. It's on the go. A lot of people are going fast. So what we're trying to get at here is that there's a great market for fast food, but is Saint Cyr fast food? No, it's a lot more than that. You don't want to be competing with McDonald's, KFC, because you sell a lot more than just that. You have a great value added to your product. And what's more, the competition is extremely fierce. Okay, and the thing is that with metropolitan areas is that, for the most part, the greater the street corners, the more interesting street corners are already taken. Now, if we look at a small city, it's a local feel. Okay, it replicates Saint Cyr's very homey differentiation. Now, the community, well, there's a strong solidarity. Everybody cares about each other. A lot more people tend to know each other, so it does coincide with this. And also, well, high market share potential because there's a lot less competition. And lastly, well, you can get a much stronger presence because of this recognition we can get from this market dynamic. Now, what we come to find from this, what we can deduce is that smaller cities are a much better fit with Saint Cyr's core competencies. Now, the actual product, who gives you the product? The suppliers. This requires an extensive network. Okay, seeing as I mentioned before, you have dry foods, you have plates, you have cups. It requires an extremely sophisticated logistic and supply chain. You have strong relationships with your suppliers. Well, your Saint Cyr, who would obviously they're very inclined to give you a hand. But the thing is that, are they ready to expand alongside with you? Are they able to grow with Saint Cyr, or are they already operating at nearly full capacity? What I'm trying to say here is that maybe we'd have to look into backup suppliers. That depends on their current situation. So it's crucial to have these suppliers that fit into and that are fit to expand alongside Saint Cyr. So let me remind you why we're here today. We're here to expand into New Brunswick and into the Ottawa region, and at the same time, well, obviously increase our sales by a fair amount as well. So I'm gonna pass the floor to Stephanie, who will be giving you a detailed implementation as to how we're going to be accomplishing this task.
So our main goal is really to increase your sales by 5.25%. And the way we're going to do that is by expanding within the Ottawa region as well as the New Brunswick region. Our main goal in the Ottawa region is to increase your presence. Right now you're heavily focused on the Quebec market, and outside of the Quebec region, people don't really know who St. Hubert is. You've had test markets there, so we really want to increase that presence in the Ottawa region. And the reason why we chose Ottawa is it's very close to Quebec. It's approximately a 2-hour commute from Montreal. So a lot of people do go to Ottawa for the weekend, so that's just building on the accessibility of your brand and increasing the awareness while keeping it nearby to the Quebec location. As for the New Brunswick location, you have a test market. It's been doing well, so now we really want to solidify your presence, because with a test market, it's not enough to grow within that region, so you want to capture as many people as possible and solidify your presence within Atlantic Canada. So the first thing you need to do is find a location, because expansion is great, but you can't do it if you don't have the facilities and you don't have the locations to perform this expansion. So you'll need to find a distribution center, because right now your distribution centers are located in Montreal and Boucherville, and they don't have the capacity, and it's quite far of a distance for them to be able to supply the New Brunswick location. So you're going to have to add a distribution center as well as find new stores, since we will be adding new stores. So the operations manager and the financial manager will meet with a commercial real estate agent to find these key locations, and the locations where you're really going to capture as many people as possible and you're going to be as visible as possible, because that is key to your expansion. As for the distribution center, there will be 1 new distribution center. And as for the store locations, there will be 10 new stores that will be added within the Ottawa region, and there will be 10 in the New Brunswick region. Of the 10 stores in the Ottawa region, 4 will be full service stores and 6 will be quick service stores. The reason being is that Ottawa, there's a lot of business people in the area. It's a very metropolitan area. So you really want to add to the accessibility of your brand. People are on the go. They're looking for a quick but quality meal because they want that experience. So that's why you're going to have more quick service locations. As for New Brunswick, right now we're going to go with 6 full service locations, because you are trying to establish your presence. So you really want to show them the entire St. Hubert experience by using these full store locations. So in terms of the distribution center, you're going to have 1 new distribution center. As for the Ottawa locations, they will still be served by the Montreal Distribution Center. The reason being is that it's still close enough and you still have the capacity to be able to supply those 10 new stores. As for the New Brunswick locations, you will have the distribution center in Moncton. So this is a new distribution center that you will be building in the Moncton region. So the total size of your distribution center will be 62,000 square feet. Now this accounts for a growth of 4.5% per year for the next 20 years. So we're not only building the distribution center to fit and to be able to account for the capacity of these 10 new stores, we're building this distribution center to account for further expansion, so that when you do see that people are accepting the brand, that you've solidified your presence, you still have enough space to increase the amount of stores you offer, because your distribution will be able to account for that space. In terms of the pallets, you will have a total of 1,850 pallets, of which 537 will be for your dry products, 278 will be for your fresh products, and 1,035 will be for all of your frozen food. As for your store locations, the Ottawa stores will be located throughout the Ottawa regions, 4 of which will be for full service, 6 will be quick service. And as for the New Brunswick location, we will have 2 of the full service located in St. John's, 3 in Moncton, and 1 in Fredericton. The reason being is that all of these 3 regions have populations of over 60,000 people, and they are the main regions that people and tourists go to. So it's just another way of adding that piece of home in New Brunswick for people when they travel there and when they go visit. As for the quick service locations, we will have 1 in Fredericton, 1 in Bathurst, 1 in Miramichi, and 1 in Edmundston. The reason being that these locations are getting the quick service locations because their populations are lower than 60,000 people, so there aren't as many people in the region, so we really want to start off with a smaller service location, and then if we see that consumers are really receptive to that, you can then add to a full service location. So now you do have many suppliers, and we know that your suppliers are key to your operations. You have 116 stores within the Quebec region, so it's really important that you have these strong relationships with your suppliers and that you maintain these relationships, because they are so important to your supply chain. So the first thing you want to do is have your procurement officer contact your suppliers. Let them know that you're looking to expand and that you're going to need an increase in supplies, because right now you can't expand with the current supplies that you have in your facilities. And you also want to ensure that the demand is satisfied. Some of your suppliers might not be able to supply enough chicken for these extra 20 stores, so it's important that you ensure what they can supply and then see what you're missing. This also applies to your delivery trucks, because right now you do outsource your delivery to a distribution company, so it's important to see if they have the capabilities of distributing your products from Montreal to the Moncton Distribution Center. If at that point you see that your suppliers don't have enough capacity to supply and fill that demand, you need to seek these new suppliers. So you're going to seek new suppliers for that excess capacity that you are missing, and these suppliers are going to go with the same mentality, and you're going to use the same standards that you use for your current suppliers. So ensuring that they have high quality products, ensuring that they're using no hormones, and really making sure that this is the top of the line chicken, it's the top of the line product, so that you can ensure that you're still offering that quality, because it's important that the quality that people expect in Montreal and in Quebec is kept throughout the entire region and eventually throughout the entire province of Canada. Country of Canada, sorry. In terms of the franchisees, right now, all of your stores are franchise operated, and this is a key to your success as well, because you also have a very strong relationship to your franchisees. You have the ability to be able to give them a store, help them manage it, but also have them run it on their own, and that is something that is very rare in the industry, but is also very key to your success. So these 20 new stores will all be franchise run. The reason being is that it works so well within Quebec, so there's no reason to change how your business is run and to change your entire operations model. So as for the interviews, you're going to have the exact same selection criteria that you already have for your current franchisees. The human resources manager and as well as your franchise manager will interview all of these candidates and then select the candidates based on qualifications. We do recommend though that you have one franchisee per store, so that will be a total of 20 new franchisees. The reason being is that it's their first time becoming a franchisee for your brand, so you really want to make sure that they have enough time and that they can focus on really building up one store rather than spreading their resources too thin and not fully committing to the success of the store. So some of the requirements are that a franchisee has to be financially stable. You don't want to give your company to somebody that doesn't know how to manage their own personal funds, so they need to be financially stable so that you know that they're capable of managing the company funds. They also have to be located within the region. The reason being is that they can easily access the store, so if ever there's an emergency, they can get there within a short amount of time, and they know the market. So you don't want to have someone who is from Vancouver running a store in New Brunswick, because the markets are completely different and they don't know the demographics and they don't know the people within those regions. So it's really important that you have these people working and living within the regions. And lastly, they need a strong management and entrepreneurial skills. Because they will be running the stores, you want these people to have that strong personnel. You want them to have that presence when they walk into the store to really be able to manage your employees and to properly run your stores. So now we've built these distribution centers, we've built the stores, you've established your physical presence in the region, but it's really important that you get people into the store, because it's great to have a distribution center and it's great to have 20 new locations, but it's completely pointless if people aren't going into your stores. So you already do have a great, strong brand, and that's great because when people see St. Hubert, they know that they can get exceptional food, exceptional quality food. We again want to entice people to come into the store. And the way we're going to do that is through direct mail coupons. So every client within a region, a specific region located near a store, will receive a coupon. The way we're going to receive the postal codes for these people is by looking and working with Canada Post to obtain the data on these consumers. So it's going to be sent to all residents living within a 15-kilometer radius to a St. Hubert store. The reason being is that you want to be very accessible, and people are more likely to come to your store if they are located in a somewhat of a close proximity to your stores. So we're looking to send out 300,000 coupons, of which 200,000 will be dedicated to full-service stores and 100,000 to these quick-service stores. The reason why we're sending more coupons for these full-service locations is because they are there to serve more people, and they are located in regions that do have an excess in population. So what is the coupon going to be? The coupon is going to be some sort of offer to get these clients into your store. So there's going to be a discount On the coupon, there will be 3 different offers. So an example of a coupon could be a 2-for-1 meal, a combo meal, so where if you get a piece of chicken, a dessert, and a drink, there'll be a special for that combo, and a free dessert. Now the reason why we're offering these coupons is to, again, increase that awareness, because when people are going to check their mail, they're going to see the Saint-Hubert coupon, they're going to realize that there is a Saint-Hubert opening up in their location, and also by having a coupon, it's going to entice people to go into the store. Because what's better than getting a free dessert or a free combo, a discount on a combo, and it's a great way to get people into your store and to try your food, even if they are hesitant to do so. So in terms of the timeline, the first thing you really want to do is find the location of the distribution center. This is key because this distribution center is going to serve the New Brunswick region as well as the entire Atlantic region once you continue on in your expansion. And you also want to start looking for your store locations so that you can really get stores open as soon as possible. As for the construction, we estimate that it's going to take about a year to build the entire distribution center. At the same time, you will begin building these stores, and simultaneously, once the distribution center is fully operating, you're going to start opening the stores. So it's not necessary to wait for the 20 stores to be fully furnished and to be fully built to open. You could start opening them as soon as they're completed. As for the Ottawa stores, they don't have to wait for the opening of the distribution center because they will be serviced by the Montreal one, which is already up and running. In terms of the suppliers, you want to contact them immediately because they are key to your supply chain. So you really want to keep that maintained relationship and keep that transparency with them. And then it'll also give you time to find additional suppliers if you do need that excess in demand. For the franchisee interviews, this is going to start later on, so it's going to start once you have the distribution center. And we estimate it's going to take about a year to find these franchisees because you really want the best of the best. And along with that, there's going to be the training involved and the selection process of the franchisees. And the coupons are going to be implemented once some of your stores have been done, and they will be implemented as the stores open up. So once one store opens up, coupons will be distributed within a 15-kilometer radius of that location, and they will be handed out up until all 20 locations have been opened. So now it's great that we've outlined why you should do this and how you're going to do this, but it's really important to figure out how much this is all going to cost.
Okay, so let's talk numbers. Here, I want to make sure that you understand that the ROI of 6 years is really over the total cost of the project. For example, getting the ROI of the distribution center itself would be less. How did we calculate the ROI? We went into deep calculations, assuming that the 5.25% increase is 7.5 million. This assumption is based on a gross margin on your food of 50%. So, after building and finding the land, having all the stores, and having trained the employees, having that marketing campaign, that includes the cost of the marketing campaign includes the cost of the promotions. So in the 3.5 million, we are assuming the cost of the money the customer is going to be redeeming. $51.1 million. This is the total cost for expanding in the Ottawa region and the East, and we believe that you're fully able to do this. Moving on, we'll have to look at key performance indicators. Throughout the entire implementation and after you implement it, we want to make sure that you are looking at a market share of 5%. The sales, 5.25. It is important if this is like the benchmark. We have to be looking at the sales throughout the entire process, and the moment the first stores open, the sales is going to be really highly regarded. Finally, the percentage of operations, 17%, which is the total of stores that we are opening, 20 over the percentage of stores that you have now. So we were here today to show you that Saint-Hubert can make it happen, 5.25%, and by expanding in the East and Ottawa region, you will do it. Thank you so much, and we open the floor to questions.
The first question is, in your analysis of the Ontario market, I was a little bit surprised that you focused strictly on the Ottawa area. Is that purpose, or is there a specific reason?
The reason why we focused on the Ottawa region is because it's so close to the Quebec region. So a lot of people do commute, sometimes on a daily basis, to Ottawa. So that's really how you're first going to solidify your position within the Ottawa region, and then you can look at expanding across Ontario.
Okay. But still, 10 new franchise in Ottawa is quite a lot, though.
We realize it is ambitious, but that's why also out of the 10, 6 of them are quick service in order to mitigate that.
Just to follow up on that, what ratio of people per store did you calculate?
We went with a ratio for each store is 60,000 people. How did we calculate that? We went with the Quebec population. We assumed 7 million, 116 stores, which gave us 16,000 people per store. That's how we went.
Did you use other factor than only the population? Once you say we're planning to open 10 stores in Ottawa?
Yeah, we went with another factor, which is the sensuaire factor. We really want to make sure that you don't grow too fast, but not in the sense that we don't want you to rush. We want you to implement in the east and then build on the building blocks and go into Ottawa and then go into Toronto. By having you in Toronto right now, we believe that it would be a mistake.
Okay.
The idea of giving coupons, would it be more accurate to give coupons in a place where there's actually no franchise presently? Because if there are already stores in New Brunswick and in Ottawa, so if you give coupons, it's sort of like you said, people are going to be aware that there are new stores that's going to open, but I'm not sure you'll have the effect desired.
Well, absolutely, but we also want to give them that extra push, as into to give sensible shot and give them the experience. Sometimes some people need that little extra to put their foot inside the door.
Okay. I would like to better understand your 5.25% sales increase number. You increase the number of stores by 17%. And sales by 5%.
Yes. You want to see the link? Yeah, sure. We went with the assumption that the total number of operations represent the stores. These stores, effectivement, they're linked to the sales. But we have to account for the cost of the suppliers. We have to account for all the expenses that are in your SG&As that were not provided, and we deducted by 5.25% is based on a growth of 4.5% of your inventory through time. So the growth in sales is related to your inventory growth.
So it's a distribution sales that grow 5%.
No, because from the growth in inventory, we deducted a growth in sales, and that growth in sales reflects the sales the operations.
I'll get your calculation.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. You have a question?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.